More than 80% of all the foods in local traditional markets are produced by local small-scale farmers. Local small-scale farmers face numerous challenges. Some of these challenges are complex and need complex and systematic solutions. Mr. Henry Kariuki Moai is playing his part. During Patricia Farm Fresh Fast Fashion Show, to showcase the Agíkúyú indigenous cultural foods, Mr. Henry Kariuki said, "A healthy soil, healthy food, healthy farmer." This is Food Security System Podcast. My name is Patricia Wanjiro Kariuki Henry. I am the host of this podcast. I am also the founder of this podcast and Patricia Farm Fresh. Welcome to Food Security System, Mr. Henry Kariuki. Can you tell us more about yourself?
I am Kariuki Moai Henry, a retired educator. In my long-serving career as a tutor, I dwelt on the following subjects: one, mathematics, social science, science and agriculture, and business education. And after leaving the service or the teaching profession, I joined the farmers and I was elected as a Vita committee member belonging to Illinois Cooperative Society. Presently in Illinois Cooperative Society, I hold the position of the Honorary Secretary, and I am a member of the Executive Committee. Thank you.
Okay, great. So, how long have you taught?
Actually, it is a period spanning for about 36 years. And during those 36 years, actually, I enjoyed my work as a teacher. And here I am now, a small-scale coffee farmer.
Okay, great. So, during Patricia Farm Fresh Fast Fashion Show, you said these words. They're actually right here. A healthy soil, healthy food, healthy farmer. You're the one who said these words. Can you tell us more about this? What was going on in your mind? What were you thinking about?
Actually, one, as a teacher and a teacher in science and agriculture, first point to start with is soil. Soil means a lot. Soil is a home for some animals. It is where we plant crops, and these crops grow. But the way they grow, they adapt themselves to the soil. Therefore, healthy soil means a soil that is not contaminated by using fertilizers and other chemicals. Therefore, the food that the crops planted in that soil will bring or will get the good nutrients from the soil. These good nutrients, actually, they are then consumed by human beings and animals so that their body becomes healthy. Here is where healthy food matters. Healthy food means a family that is eating good food, which we call balanced diet. It means they have less expenses on medical expenses, and therefore saving a lot of money for the family to use in other areas. When we come to healthy farmer, the healthy farmer is not only healthy himself, but the whole family is healthy. And therefore, that man or that woman there has got power, has got ability to work and be productive in other sectors, mostly in the coffee field that I deal in. Then that doesn't mean he is not going to work in other fields. Actually, he is productive throughout and in many other areas. Because coffee itself, actually coffee itself does not mean that the farmer does not have other crops. Coffee depends on other crops and other animals. For example, manure, which is actually organic. That manure by that farmer will be put into coffee bushes, and they will do well. Therefore, bring a lot of money. That is why, as a small-scale farmer, I advocate for a farmer to have good, healthy soil, which will bring up good food, and that good food will trickle down to the entire family.
Wow, great. So I know you know one of your farmers who is in my program. His name is Andrew Mwangi. He said something very interesting regarding what you have said. That when he started restoring the Agíkúyú indigenous cultural foods, the expenses at his home has gone down because he's no longer buying food. And it's not just that. He's no longer buying food, he's producing his own food. And that food is safe because it has no synthetic fertilizer or pesticides. That is a very interesting point.
Actually, it is, because I've also interacted with some farmers. The farmers suffered from that one. Mostly what they are doing now, they are having their own small farms, where you find that they don't have to go to market. And actually the food they are producing there, the vegetables they are producing there, is quite fresh. Unlike when they go to the market to buy what they don't know how it was grown. For example, in some areas, and especially in urban areas, you find the sewage being used. Imagine sewage being used. People planting cabbages and other skuma wiki, and these are taken to the market.
Yes.
When that is consumed by a farmer, by another person, what happens? Sewage comes to your body. Chemicals have been applied. And remember, when we are using chemicals to spray, to kill, you know, when we say to kill animals, no matter how small it is, you kill that animal, and then you consume the same food. That means you are also killing yourself slowly. And by doing so, actually you are nearing your grave through some very dangerous diseases like cancer and others.
Okay. So why are you interested in educating local coffee small-scale farmers about the Agíkúyú indigenous cultural foods?
As I said earlier, Kikuyu indigenous foods, they are very nutritious, highly nutritious. And you know, food that is grown in a certain soil, actually it adapts to that soil. And therefore, very important. You cannot plant some crops in other areas and expect it to adapt to the same. Therefore, we are doing away with exotic foods. Exotic food, that means foods that are blood. They cannot adapt well to our soils. And therefore, that is why we are going back to our own food, which are very, very nutritious. Two, remember our foods, our traditional food, we don't use chemicals, we don't use fertilizers, we use organic manure. And therefore, the production of that food is 100% very safe to our bodies. Thank you.
So if I may ask, you talked about adaptation. We know also some of these foods can be used to mitigate climate change because, as you said, if you bring exotic crops or foods in a place like this, what that means is that they might also be carriers of pests and diseases, and they destroy the soil. And not just that, they are not able to adapt to the climate of this place. Can you expound on that?
Actually, the most important thing is that even these pesticides, we are saying pests. In reality, they also go according to an area and according to the crops grown in that area. Therefore, when these indigenous foods are planted or they are grown in the right place, the best part of it is that contamination is not there and the food is very, 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 very safe. Therefore, I would urge and I would request my coffee farmers to adopt Agíkúyú indigenous foods because it is for local use and it has been grown since time immemorial. And those diseases were not known during those days, unless now where we are having so many diseases simply because of these chemicals, spraying and fertilizers and others. Therefore, my point would be, let my coffee farmers go back to Agíkúyú indigenous food, which is very, very safe for consumption.
Okay, great. You have consistently visited the local coffee small-scale farmers who are in the project of restoring the Agíkúyú indigenous cultural foods and trees. What has been your assessment?
Actually, in my visit to various farmers, on my field trips to various farmers, I can say a significant number. When I say significant, I mean a big number has changed. One, I have gone there and I've seen they have established their small chambers where they cultivate Agíkúyú cultural foods and they consume that food. Two, from them, from what I've heard from them is that they are not now going to market, actually to buy. Actually, the truth is they are saving a lot of money for their family. And third, and most importantly, these ideas are being transmitted to their children. And therefore, this is a revolution that is going to go to generations to come. And that would be very, very good for the healthy bodies of our nation and more specifically to my coffee farmers at Daita.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So far, have you consumed any of the Agíkúyú indigenous cultural food?
Oh yes. Actually, food nowadays I don't go to market. I consume organically grown crops. Mm-hmm. These crops include all kinds of vegetables and many types of Agíkúyú fruits. I have got them in my shamba, and I consume together with my family. Therefore, I expect not to get sick soon because I am using the right kind of food, traditional.
Yes. What about usuru wa mukio?
Actually, that one, usuru wa mukio, I enjoy taking it. I make sure I consume at least a big cup in the morning and another big cup in the evening. And there I find my body being very healthy. Actually, not only me, even the members of my family, they have come to agree that usuru wa mukio is good for our health. And therefore, I encourage farmers, and more so, coffee farmers, because specifically I am dealing with the coffee, to take usuru wa mukio because it is very good for their bodies.
That's amazing. So far, I must say you have really helped the project of restoring the Agíkúyú indigenous cultural foods from the inception of the idea to the starting of it, to understanding the needs of the farmers, to bringing it to the farm, and to staying late night in the field to make sure that the farmers understand exactly what they are doing. And also you have really supported me in the logistics of it all. And thank you so much for the support that you have given the Agíkúyú Indigenous Cultural Food Project. Thank you for the advocacy that you're doing for the Agíkúyú Indigenous Cultural Foods to your coffee farmers, because I remember when we were having our first fashion show, you said these words, and they have stuck with me for a long time, because this is exactly what our program is all about. Is our program right now we are running is the one we are running right now is Teri Negwirio Sianda. Verbatim translation meaning soil is food for the stomach. So if you don't have healthy food, if you don't have healthy soil, you don't have healthy food, and you cannot have a healthy farmer. So a healthy farmer is able, as you said, is able to be productive. When they receive their bonus for the coffee, instead of taking it to the hospital, they are able to invest that back in their family, and they are able to progress and be able to bring more development, because in Mount Kenya region, people like development a lot. So, and in any case, even the country likes development. Anybody likes development. So if these farmers are able to save on the food, that's one. Then maintain their health, so that every day when they wake up, they're able to go to their coffee bushes and cultivate and produce more, and they are not stressed because their child is sick, or I don't have money for this. Then that farmer is a productive farmer. And this is a project that I believe it has a lot of science in it. And not just the science, it has a lot of indigenous knowledge in it. And our indigenous knowledge somehow got lost in between the education system, or in between colonization, and we lost track of our foods. But I'm so grateful that you are supporting this, and thank you so much for what you're doing. So I don't know, do you have something else you would want to say? Do you have a parting shot, or something else you'd like to add?
Thank you very much. Actually, I think what you have just said is very important. One, when we save, family becomes happy. And the basis of a nation is a good family. Many families actually make a nation. When families are good, when families are healthy, the nation becomes rich. Therefore, by extension, I would urge you to continue doing the same. And any support or logistics that you may need, I am ready to support. And personally, I will make sure through my farmers, in general meetings, in assemblies of farmers, I will preach the gospel of Agíkúyú indigenous food, because it is a benefit to them and to the nation. And therefore, my parting shot would be, let us go back to our indigenous foods for good health and for a prosperous nation. Thank you very much.
Okay, so I hope we'll be catching up with Mr. Kariuki Henry along as the year progresses. This is just the beginning of 2026. The program of Agíkúyú Indigenous Cultural Foods has been running since 2024 in July. So it's almost like 1 year and a half. And so far we have seen great results. The farmers, I think they are happy. I think you're also happy.
Actually, yes. I'm very happy to be frank. Because I have changed my diet. I have changed my diet from the exotic kind of foods, and those foods from the dukas. Now I specifically go for fresh food from my shamba. And so many other farmers are doing the same.
Yes.
That's good work.
Thank you. So we shall be keeping the spirit of restoring the Agíkúyú indigenous cultural foods. These foods, as I have said before, they are rich in probiotics. They have a low glycaemic index. They promote emotional and mental health. They regenerate the soil, actually. Like there's this plant we planted, tree we planted, which you told me it goes very well with the coffee.
Oh yes.
That plant is Mogumo tree?
No, Moringa.
Moringa,
actually, it is, their leaves, when they fall, actually, we call it a shade plant for coffee. Like in those leaves, actually, they are very rich in calcium. And therefore, they help the farmer in his coffee farming.
Great. So we are not just restoring the foods, we are restoring the Agíkúyú indigenous trees as well. And before colonization, our environment was well integrated with the foods, with the animals, and with the trees, with the climate. And we hope to keep the spirit alive. And thank you so much for watching this podcast. And thank you for those who are listening. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you.